First of all, I want to say how you doing. Hotep. The sun rises. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Amun. I'm just going over a few things here. Hold on. I'm just going over a few things, and if you searching on certain videos and stuff like that, listen here. You can read all the books you want, but you need to still cross-reference. Cross-reference like that. All right, I was watching a video about Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, I know you're probably saying, oh, you're talking about Jehovah's Witnesses a lot. Well, the reason why I talk about Jehovah's Witnesses a lot is because they was the religious group that I came from, one of the backgrounds, and then when I started studying about Jehovah's Witnesses' background, I started realizing, wow, we was truly hypnotized. Now, then I started studying about other religions, groups, and, you know, when you release your doctrine that you think you know, and just start studying. Just start studying. Okay, nobody, listen, you ain't got to go thirsty into it. Listen, if it takes 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, so what? I'm still studying. I'm still absorbing things. Now, sometimes I get tired of it. I'm telling you right now the truth. Sometimes I get tired of it, and I back away from it. You know what I'm saying? But what I do know now, and what I understand now, is that even though we lost, but we all under the umbrella, the same umbrella. We think that we're not, because we have institutional minds to believing that this religious organization is the best organization, when in fact that's not what serving God is all about. You're supposed to have a one-on-one relationship with the Creator, if this is what you choose to do. You have some people believe that Jesus Christ is God himself. But then that story contradicts itself. Then you got some people believe there's many gods, but the strange thing is that there is many gods because it's in Psalms chapter 82:6. Who is the gods that they're talking about? What if the scriptures you be reading, they've been altered? Because it's easy if the Bible's been written by man, by hand of a man, that man can rewrite what he wants. He can change letters, change vowels, change a whole entire sentence. We have to understand this. Then you get people talking about, do you know the real Bible? Well, the real Bible's on what? Papyrus cloth that's made from a plant. There were many books in the Bible. Many books. The Bible is not fulfilled. There's certain books that's not in the Bible. And it's the reason why. Because they don't want you to know certain things. Maybe certain things that will blow your mind away. Now, the book of Enoch seems to keep popping up, but only in just pieces. But I believe there's books about other things that we have not been told. Now, if Psalms 82:6 talks about gods, Gods, means more than one. Which I noticed a lot of pastors and preachers and, mosques, they don't talk about that scripture. That scripture seems not to come up a lot. I begin to notice that too. That scripture seems not to come up. But what I do know, I'm not going to sit here and make an argument and keep on pacifying, is that when you being co-native, I used to be co-native. I used to do it all the time. You couldn't tell me that the Jehovah's Witness wasn't correct. Well, what I knew was Jehovah, Jesus, and we need to obey the rules, which is the commandments. We need to walk this narrow path of righteousness. And if you don't, you're going to hell. Now, but God says, I have given you a choice. I'm not forcing you to believe, but this is a choice. It's just that simple. Now, when you begin to see men that's been blessed, if you will, fall from grace, and you ask yourself, why is this? Why do these men and women fall from grace? And some of them you don't know, you don't hear nothing about them. There's a lot of pastors with homosexuals. They don't want us to talk about that because it's supposed to be with disrespected people. Ain't nobody disrespected. They were homosexuals, but they did not tell the congregation they were homosexuals. There were pastors who slept with deacons' wives, heterosexual pastors sleeping with people's wives, but did not tell you that. There were pastors who were stealing from the treasure to enhance their way of living, but they haven't told you that. And the answer to those things is they are mortal men. They are mortal men, so these things happen, so we got to forgive them. But then they do it again. Because if a person loves sleeping with other people's women, you think they're going to stop that? If a person loves to sleep with the same sex, you think they're going to stop that? If a person loves to steal, you think they're going to stop that? Listen. We got to stop playing games, because that's what you're doing. You're playing emotional, psychological games. The reason why people do that is because without somebody being at forefront or a leader, you're lost, scattered. You don't want to think for yourself. You don't think for yourself now. You need someone to tell you who to follow. Then you get so doctrined into that religious group, you basically become a parasite to the religion, to that religion. And you're so ready to defend it. But most of you dive headfirst into the religion, and you do not do any research. There was a female, I ain't gonna mention no names, I'm just giving you an output. It was a female that was on my page, and she says, oh, what you do, what they do is they try to recruit people, even on Facebook. And she said, oh, I want to be your friend, blah, blah, blah. She didn't say she was a Jehovah's Witness or nothing like that. But before I did that, I pressed hers and I started looking into her thing. And it didn't say Jehovah's Witnesses. It doesn't say that at first. She don't say that on her describing her description on who she is. It doesn't say that. Now, since she's probably seen or someone shared my page and it happened, she's seen it off of one of her friends or so on and so forth. And a lot of people like, oh, he's into God, blah, blah, blah. Maybe I can get him to come over here. People think like that. They think like that. So now, make a long story short, I pressed it. So now she's signing on my page, Jehovah this, Jehovah that, Jehovah this. I'm going to the convention, blah, 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 blah. So she says, oh. So I said, Jehovah's Witness. She says, yeah, you should come and join. I said, why would I want to do that? She said, because without Jehovah, you ain't going to heaven. You won't have salvation. Without Jehovah, I won't have no salvation? Really? Wow. Then I said, did you do your research about Jehovah's Witnesses? She said, yeah. I said, well, let me ask you a question. You know they started like in around the 1800s? But they wasn't called Jehovah's Witnesses. So she had an answer was, oh, I know already, and so on and so forth. She ain't know anything and stuff like that. Most people that get into these religious groups, they don't do no research. They just assume. So I told her, and I knew what about the next thing I was about to tell her. That was going to stun her to the point blank. So I told her, I said, listen here. In the beginning of the organization, they believed they had the eye to see. They stated that Jesus was coming back in 1872, I believe. Clearly, outspoken, boasted, Jesus is coming back, point blank. He's coming back because there was a vision that was seen. So the people waited. Jesus never came. So what they did was they changed the words. That Jesus is coming back, but he will be coming back invisible. So you won't be able to see it. So this will be able to give you the stretch out the distance of how you be able to manipulate people. Because if you say Jesus is invisible, I could basically say he's here right now. You just can't see him, but I can see him because I'm the anointed one. Now, when you start doing a little bit more research, right? How come the Hebrews never called him Jesus? The Hebrews, Israelites, never called him Jesus. But here, in modern times, they call him Jesus. Why is that? Because it don't matter. But the Hebrews in ancient times didn't call him Jesus. Now, all of a sudden, everybody's calling him Jesus now. Calling who Jesus? When the origin of Jesus was whitewashed. But nobody seems to want to talk about that. That they took those paintings, the true paintings that supposed to have been documented, it was painted over, whitewashed, to completely take it out. Even the Jews that you see today, the Oxford Jews with the black hats and the white shirts and the black suits, they're not real Jews. They know that. The real Jews is in Ethiopia. But they're not going around here acting the way they're acting. Why the Jews trying to buy every land? Why are they trying to do that? The white Jews, why are they trying to buy everything like locusts so you can work for them? Think about religion. Religion can confuse you if you don't do no studying. Now that girl I was talking about, Jehovah's Witness, I flipped it and I said to her, okay, when was the first black Jehovah's Witness? The first. Because see, I've been looking that up. For some apparent reason I can't find it. I've been looking it up to see maybe they have it. I've been looking it up and trying to find it. Now, for some reason, it doesn't tell you that. It tells you into the Doctrine of Jehovah's Witness history scan provide the message to African American Jehovah's Witnesses. You better start doing own research, like I'm saying. The history of Jehovah's Witnesses, founders of C.T. Russell, which is Charles T. Russell, right? Black Jehovah's Witnesses have a little self-respect. Who founded the Jehovah's Witness? But it don't tell you the first black Jehovah's Witness. But I will tell you this. Charles T. Russell, founder of the Jehovah's Witness, even though it wasn't called Jehovah's Witness at the point in time that he created this organization. I will tell you this. It's noted that the KKK spoke, not to Charles T., but his assessor, and told him to tell them that to force black people into your religion. Because Charles T. Russell believed that black people were cursed. Because when Noah was after the Noah's flood, after the flood, according to the story, that Noah's son seen him naked and was laughing at his father, making fun at him, according to the story. Because Noah was basically drunk. Basically, according to the story. So he's supposed to have cursed his son. So, according to the story, that son was happy to be dark-skinned. Now, if black people are cursed, according to the story, what make you want black people into your organization? I'll tell you what, and it comes back to number one, money. Money. Because their finances will start to dwindle. So now you recruit black people, you get them to believe, now they have some kind of self-respect about themselves. You understand? They leave their spirituality, they drop that down. No African, they don't need none of that stuff because we always had God. So now it's better implanted in their head. But money was more important than anything. Because, see, let me tell you something. Once you get black people to join in any organization, everyone else is going to follow suit. Listen, you don't have to believe it. Evidence shows you. Why do you think they kill black people? Why they don't sit down and have a talk with black people? The people in power. They go in and slaughter black people. Black people do it to themselves. Yeah, listen, this is all evidence. Go there and type in Africa. It's even in books how black people slaughter themselves. Listen here. I can get a book right now and basically show you. Hold on. I got 2 books, but even though I can get the Bible that we all read from time to time, the Quran, it tells you about different wars. Who you think was killing each other? First of all, if you don't believe that the Bible, the whole book is based on black people, then it doesn't make no sense when you're talking to you right now. Because the image you believe and you see in your eyes here, you think the Bible is based on white folks. Just according to the names, David, Luke, John, Matthew. Where do the names come from? even challenging the names. Who is these people? First John, Second John. Who are those? The destruction of the black civilization, the great issues of the race from 45 BC to 2000 AD by Chancellor Williams. I believe some of y'all have this. Do some of y'all have that? Understand the foundation of the new approach to the history of our race. It was a pioneer research into unexplored areas. This book is not only urgently needed now, but it will be read by future generations. This is by John Henry Clark stated this. This book should be the basis for all the so-called black studies programs. This is the basic text necessary for the African mental development in the last part of the 20th century. Amar Baraka. Williams' directness, forcefulness, and a perpetual warmth of insider whose own destiny and that of his people is the stake of a strong impact. The destruction of the black civilization is the balance of periods of any ancient and contemporary African history. I can read on if I want to, but just wanted you to know that. Get the book. Talks about dynasties. Tell you how they formed the lands and how. Listen, you got black on black people become all about resources. They want resources. Wanted. There's another book that I recommend for y'all to get by Dr. Frances Cress Wellington. She passed away last year. Okay, do you remember these people believe in their heritage? Understand that they believe in their heritage. It's not about you. They believe in your people. There were no Jehovah's Witnesses. There was no Muslims. There was no Hebrew Israelites. There was no Kemetic system. They believe in a people of helping a people. They had a connection. Understand that. Now, they never talks about Dr. Frances Cress Wellington, what religion she was in, because she never talked about it. If anybody know, let me know. The ISIS papers, the key to the colors. Understand this here. Let's read a little bit. Then I'm going to show you a picture of her. Just in case if you don't know who she is. Here she is. Looks familiar? African. You see that? The African prince. See, once you believe in what you believe in, you got to go beyond what you think you know. Let's read. During the course of the struggle of the African people against European racism, brutality, and domination, many inevitable thinkers have risen from our ranks. The greatest and the most courageous scholars have devoted their lives into the pursuit of the explanation for the virtually inherent animosity most white people appear to have towards people of color. Unlike her predecessors, Dr. Frances Cress Wellington, a brilliant Washington, D.C. psychiatrist, has rejected and conventional notions about the origin of the propagations of racism. Dr. Wellington's theories, lectures, and scientific papers have provoked controversy for over 20 years. Now the completion of her work in this ISIS papers is destined no change the course of history. I don't know. I've seen some of her work, the videos, how these white scholars are trying to down our people, and she ate them up for breakfast. I don't know if y'all seen it, but I've seen it. You can download it. You can download it on YouTube, and these stuff will pop up. YouTube or Google, however you want to do it. If you just do a little research, you're going to be able to understand something. The difference is man-made religion to understanding who you are. African. It's of course you're mad at Africans because you're mad because they were the first one to make that mistake. They were the first who created this problem. The problem was you allow people to come in and take our people. You sold your own people for resources. You was fooled. You were the first to do these things. course. That's why we have hatred towards one another. That's why we want to kill each other. Because it's in our DNA. Why you've done this? How come you've done this? What do you think? This was going to just bypass? It's in our DNA. But we got to come beyond that. We got to bypass that. I'm Chocolate Amun Ra. This is the morning message. Peace. Listen here. It is what it is.